Welcome to Fresh Off the Set. I'm Carrie Hawker-Diaz.
And I'm David Osmond, along for the ride.
Okay, you know what?
Speaking of rides.
Speaking of rides, I should have caught on what you were just doing. I'm really excited for this podcast. You talked with Julie Freed with Lagoon, and I have so many memories from being a kid at Lagoon. It's like just goes with living in Utah, right?
What's your favorite? What's the first go-to? Like, oh my gosh, as a kid, went to Lagoon. What do you visualize in your mind?
Okay, so I go straight to nighttime with the neon lights of the games and the buzzing and the dinging of the, winning the toys.
The
and
sounds, the smells.
Yeah.
It's there, the midway, the games, the funnel cakes.
The funnel cakes with my cousins. So a lot of my cousins, we would all go. I can't remember if our parents finally left at that point. They were like, I've been here all day. We're just going to leave kids here at night. But I just remember running around with my cousins when we were teens and living it up at night at Lagoon was like the best.
Good times. And still good times. Like just fun family memories, being able to take my kids to it now.
Yeah.
It's one of those Utah staples that we love. We have such a great time together. And it was fun to see kind of a peek behind the curtain as I sat down with Julie Freed. Her family started this. So she's a great-great-granddaughter of those that had established this. And it has a long history with the lake and where the water actually used to be, why it's called Lagoon. It's a really fascinating story, but to be able to see her perspective growing up there, I think she was 9 years old, just a kid when she first started. And so the stories of what she's done in her position to be able to see it grow to what it is today, it was really fascinating. So those that love Lagoon, you will love this conversation.
Absolutely. Should we give it a listen?
Let's do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fresh Off the Set. My name is David Osmond. So happy to be here in studio to talk about something that has become a Utah staple for so many families and people all over the world. It's been featured in songs from the Beach Boys. Rolling Stones have played there. Like, you name it, this park has a crazy history. Just go look it up sometime, even a Wikipedia on it. Lagoon Amusement Park. It's in Layton?
Farmington.
I always get that mixed up. Farmington is where you got to go. That's where all the cool kids hang out.
That's right.
And I got one of the cool kids here with me today. Julie Freed is in the house. What's up, Julie?
Thank you for having me. Thank you. What a great introduction, too. You know all the history.
I know it because I've lived it just by an observer, being the fly on the wall. Gone there ever since I was a little kid. Not as much as you have since you were a little kid.
That's probably true.
You come from the Freed family, obviously.
Yes.
Your grandpa.
Right.
Robert, his brother Robert,
yes.
and Peter, they were the ones that kind of revitalized that area.
That's right.
Was able to purchase it back, acquire it, and then turned it into an amusement park slowly but surely over the years.
Yes.
As the Salt Lake receded away from that area, there was a lagoon, which gave it the name.
Right.
And then it became like this just destination for Utah and then the country and now the world. It's going into a 30th season of a new thing, especially timely for where we are right now in the fall season.
Frightmares
has become something that everybody loves.
It's so fun. I tell my friends when they want to come to the park, I say, wait till Frightmares. It's just so fun. I wish there was a way to give off the same vibe, the same festival atmosphere that Frightmares has for the entire season, but it's just so unique. Yeah. It's like it's in the air, fall's in the air, people are excited. It's just the whole park really does transform. My dad used to call it a Halloween extravaganza because that's really what it is. It's just it's big. It's like larger than life.
He said it like
music.
That. Extravaganza.
Exactly.
Like he was
just
Dracula.
like that. Extravaganza. Yes, he did. Just like that.
Nice.
Just like that.
Thank
You should be an actor
you
during
think?
Frightmares.
I came from a showbiz family.
Yeah, there you go.
As did you.
That's
you
right.
are the perfect person to be the director of Frightmares and
Thank
so
you.
many other hats that you wear at that lagoon. But because you've worked there since you were 9 years old, literally.
Yes. And, here's the thing. The cool thing about Lagoon, it's not just me. Almost every single department manager. So we're talking maintenance department, construction, foods, games, rides, accounting, you name it. Every manager has been at Lagoon since they were 14 or 15 years old. So we're talking 20, 30, 40, some 50-year-long Lagoon employees.
Yeah.
And it is like a big family. We talk about the Lagoon family all the time. We're not talking about the Freeds. People mean
there's an extended family.
Our family,
huge.
yes, because Lagoon is really unique in that you can become a manager at 16 years old. And so a lot of us started when we were really young. worked our way up the ranks, and now we've all been there for a very long time. And it's such a great place to work. We're a family park for families too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, is we want to have something for kids of every single age
Yeah.
to enjoy. And now I'm getting to do that with my son, and it's so much fun.
For
It's
families,
so fun.
put on by families.
Exactly.
Of course, the Frightmare, the fall season, it's the energy in the air is something
Yes.
special. What is, apart from that,
Yes.
what would be your favorite part of the park? Because there's like lots of different sections where you got all the games, the midway area, then you've got all the kid ride area. You got that Pioneer Village, which
Pioneer Village is
It's
probably my
super
favorite
cool.
because it's so unique. And the cool thing about Pioneer Village is when I walk through, we see a lot of grandparents in Pioneer Village and a lot of people that you wouldn't think, you think maybe they didn't come here for the coasters, but for the history. It's a great way to get in touch with Utah history. All of the buildings and all of the contents are completely 100% authentic, with the exception of the meat in the butcher shop. That is the only thing that's not real. We have fake meat in the butcher shop, but everything else is completely authentic. So we've got one side which is commercial.
Yeah.
We've got like the dentist's office, which is terrifying. The post office.
being that old and restored you got the Frightmare haunted house sections. It sounds like this is probably legitimately haunted.
Yes.
Like these are old buildings.
Oh yes, we have had ghost hunters come out before,
No.
and and many employees that don't believe in ghosts, they will all say Frightmares is haunted. Or excuse me, not Frightmares. Pioneer Village is haunted. I mean, the two go hand in hand. But if you think about it, original buildings from the 1800s, like, how could it
These
not
walls
be?
could talk.
These walls could talk.
I don't think I'll walk through Pioneer Village ever the same. Thank you so much. As I'm enjoying my funnel cake.
Exactly. Yeah. Watch your back. Watch your back. Yeah.
Now, the history of what the park is, it has quite a vastness to it. I mean, from the late 1800s when that whole area started developing and to what it is today. What has surprised you the most about, you grew up in this world. It's your family's legacy. Like, what do you love most about it? What surprised you the most?
And are you talking about Lagoon specifically? You're talking about amusement industry,
the whole experience of running a family
Yes.
amusement park, because that alone is so unique.
It is
that
very
happen.
unique. It is unique. I think what has surprised me the most is this industry is so cutting edge. We really have to stay on top of it. I mean, with new age of technology, I never thought we would have a dark coaster, I should say, at Lagoon. We've got the Terror Ride in Dracula's Castle. I kind of thought that was it. And now having Primordial being an interactive, dark 3D coaster, I didn't
great
think.
Ride.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. But I didn't think the park would go there, and I just the way things change and the way the park has grown has surprised all of us. My grandfather, he still came to work until he was 96 years old. He couldn't drive.
What a cool dude.
Yeah. He couldn't drive. So Janina, who's part of our family, would drive him to work. And my cousin Madison and I would, when the park was closed, we would drive him around so that he could see the park because he didn't get around as well.
Yeah.
And the last time we did it, he was 96. And I'm so glad I have a video of this. I took a little bit of video, and he just kept saying, I can't believe this is our lagoon. It's huge. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's so cool.
He couldn't
That's
believe
awesome.
it. And so the way it has grown, thanks to our community, it's been awesome and a thrill. He called it the thrill of his life.
I could ever imagine that it got that big when it started and just
No.
opened the very first
No.
doors.
Yes, and he
like, to
told
go from
this
that to where you
story.
are now, that's so cool.
I'll never forget. He told me the story of the first day they reopened the park. It had been closed during World War II. That's when he and his brothers got involved and decided to reopen Lagoon. And he told me the first day they opened the gates, they were just hoping somebody
Crossing
would
their
come.
fingers.
Yes, and so he counted behind his back on his fingers how many people came to the park.
Yeah.
And 15 people came, and they thought that was just incredible. I mean, that was like, we did it. We're going to, and I mean, then that went from 15 to 1,500, and now, we have thousands of
Now,
people
if I
on
get
the
in
park.
line at a ride and there's 15 people in front of me, I'm stoked.
You're like, we're winning right here. So, I mean,
That's really cool.
Isn't that a special story?
That would have been in the 40s, I would imagine, when we kind of brought it after World War II.
That's right.
Unbelievable. Good for you. Good for them. And what a legacy to now carry on that tradition, to be in the position you are.
Yes.
With your family legacy and all that extended family you talk about.
Right.
It's a huge undertaking. And like you said, to stay on that cutting edge.
Yes.
Is there a lot of pressure on you?
Lagoon is so unique because we also keep a lot of our classic older rides, and that's what really sets us apart. A lot of parks, when their rides are getting older, I mean, think about our roller coaster is the 7th oldest roller coaster in the world. It's the 4th oldest
wooden
in the
roller
nation.
coaster,
Yes,
yeah.
it's over 100 years old.
And it's good. I mean,
it's so fun.
For what
right?
it is. We went on it, my wife and kids and I
Yes.
recently, and we couldn't believe how much fun it was.
Oh, it's so fun. But we have 3 rides on the National Historic Registry. And so that really does set us apart. We keep a lot of our classic rides. I mean, the Terror ride, for example. We just restored it a few years ago because it was 50 years old. So it's fun to mix the new with the old, and that's what gives that really eclectic feel.
The other old one, I remember having come out there to do stories for the station, was the carousel. Is that the other one that's super old?
Over 100 years old.
Wow.
Yes. What's so cool about that? So that was my son's very first ride, Leo, when he was 1 year old.
Awesome.
David Leo, and
Cool kid. Good name.
Yes, thank you. Great name, right? The coolest thing that I was thinking when I put him on a horse. My grandmother could have ridden that same horse. I mean, that's how old and they're all original. All of the characters on the carousel are all original, hand carved, hand painted. So he could have ridden the exact same one that my grandmother rode.
Whoa,
that's really special.
Goosebumps,
yeah,
honestly.
right. Baby boats. It's not as old, but I mean, we have pictures of kids saying, "This is my child on it. That's me when I was 3 on the baby boats. That's my mom."
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes on for generations. That's one of the things that makes the park so special to us.
That's awesome. Now, you grew up in this family, and your dad was David too.
That's
right?
correct.
And then your grandparents. Was it an expectation? Because this is like, hey, this is our family business.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you stay in the family, you run this. This is your legacy to pass on as well. Do you feel that pressure?
Dave and Kristen, my aunt, they were so wonderful. They really. They didn't pressure us. They said, here it is. I think they just knew that when we were old enough, we would realize how wonderful it is and want to be there. It's almost like they didn't even have to pressure us. When I was in high school, I was like, I don't know what I want to do, Dad. We'll see. I think I'm going to go away to Arizona State for a while, and that was devastating to him. And of course, I moved home immediately as soon as I graduated. But that was the only time I kind of felt the pressure, when I was like, I don't know. But I think they just knew, like, why wouldn't anyone want to work there? I mean, Leo, my son, I know he's going to want to work there. I don't need to pressure him because we have such a great culture at Lagoon. We're so lucky. So they didn't need to pressure us.
If you build it, they will come.
Not? That's right.
But it does start at the top. To create that culture you're talking about, it does take management. And as you're kind of leading the way on this, you recognize, having worked there as a kid, what it takes to create that environment. Yes. I will say, like, as you're walking around and you can kind of see the hooded characters that are going into their different areas, kids love to be there and to work there. And so you employ a lot of people.
Right.
And to show up and put that kind of an effort into it is, you have to have the heart for it.
Yes.
And so you can tell everyone that is there, and as on the employee side as well, wants to be there. And that makes a huge difference.
We are so lucky. We're lucky to be in Davis County. We're so lucky to be surrounded by such a great community. We love our kids. We hire up to 5,000.
Wow.
Seasonal employees. Yes, we've got about 300 full-time year-round employees, most of which are maintenance. Yeah. Because in the wintertime, that's our next job. Coming up in just a few weeks, we start our winter maintenance, which is also something really interesting that a lot of people don't know about. People say to me, so what do you guys do when Lagoon closes? Go to Hawaii for the winter?
Yeah.
It's like, I wish. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But the truth is, Lagoon is, it's like an ant farm in the wintertime. We are so busy. A lot of departments are busier in the wintertime because every single ride comes apart completely. Every nut, every bolt gets tested. We do NDT testing, non-destructive testing in our maintenance shop. Yep. Every vehicle gets tested. And that really contributes to our safety record. Our
Huge.
safety record is, I would put it up against Disney, Universal, any of those big parks.
I would think, should be doing that. Most probably do not.
They probably don't do it the way we do it.
the-
That's one of the benefits of being seasonal, is that we can take every single thing apart, test everything before it gets back up.
And that's a lot of overhead. That's a lot of work.
It is. It's a lot of work, and that's
why you're not going to Hawaii.
That's right. That's right. At least not all winter long.
Not always. Yeah.
The other thing is we're always working on infrastructure, and we have new things coming. We have so many fun.
You're dreaming and scheming.
We
huh?
have, yes. We have so many fun, exciting plans. I mean, next year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years, we're just going to keep going.
So anything you can kind of whet our palate on, just give us a little sneak peek.
Sure.
Okay.
The first thing.
I won't tell anybody.
Well, the first thing you can see, the candy shop. The
Oh,
candy
yeah.
shop tragically burnt down.
Yeah,
And
my
so
kids
we
were
are
so
rebuilding.
bummed.
Oh, we were
Their favorite
heartbroken.
building.
And it was the oldest structure on the park too. It was just
heartbreaking.
it was devastating. But we are rebuilding it, and it is going to be fabulous. I mean, I can't even tell you how gorgeous it's going to be. So we've got the candy shop and Peacock Parlor, which is an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
And they're going to be so wonderful. I think people will want to come to Lagoon just to go to the candy shop and Peacock Parlor.
Can't wait.
So those are opening next year. We also have the district coming soon next year.
What area of the park? Can you tell
Pioneer
us?
Village. That's
Okay.
where the log flume was. We are planning.
Oh, you shut that down.
Yes, that's right. Log flume retired. Well, everybody misses the log flume. However, what's coming is going to be so spectacular, and it's not one, but more than one attraction that will be coming next year in the district. It's a little teaser for you. That's all I can give you.
That's
but
it.
you're going to have to just come down
All right,
in the
I'll come
spring.
back.
You're going to want to
I'll come back for the Peacock Parlor and the ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll take a look.
Let's do
The
it.
district, that sounds awesome.
Oh, it's going to be so great. Yes.
that's
it's
fantastic.
a beautiful, beautiful space back there. So we've got some big plans for next year. So we're going to be busy this winter.
So cool. I can only imagine the stories that you have of running an amusement park over the years. I mean, I grew up in a showbiz family, and there's just these weird experiences that no one else, I think, gets, especially when you're kids. Is there anything that jumps out of your mind like, this was something crazy? You wouldn't even believe this. Is there any of those moments that come to mind?
Oh, every day there's something new.
I mean, sometimes there's
An easy one that comes to mind. We have a lot of funny things fly off of roller coasters that we have to go find.
phones for sure.
Phones for sure, but we've had
Toupees?
dentures.
Denture.
Can
you help me find my key?
Yes, really though.
Like the Robinsons?
Really. We've had some funny things fly off rides. Yep, toupees for sure, wigs, all sorts of things that you can imagine would fly off of a person. Yep, that's funny. Let's see, what else? We did have someone that brought their support animal, which was a tarantula.
Oh, wow. During Frightmares?
During Frightmares, actually, yes, it was a Frightmares character. That
Applying
was
for
their
a job.
support animal. Well, they were hired, and while they were sitting getting their makeup done, they had this tarantula crawling around them, and that was their support
crazy.
animal. Yeah,
That's wild.
The makeup artists were not thrilled about that one. They were,
But now they're like a part of the team.
Yes, exactly. But there's just funny things like that. That's like, where else would this be happening? Of course, it's happening at Lagoon.
And Sarah, and when you're dealing with that many public, how many people come through a day to the park? Because you got
we average about 10,000 guests a day.
a lot of people to accommodate and feed.
Yes, and we're on
house
150 acres, so it's pretty spread out.
huge property.
Yep.
I don't remember the name. I got to say this. I won't take too much time, but what's the one where they pull you down with the bungee cords and they put you in a little ball and then they slingshot you? Catapult. Okay. So I was early in when Valerie and I were just married. So we were there. We're just checking out. Oh, look at this. This is so cool. And she was standing right below it. And I was right in front of her. And right as they let go of that catapult, I looked up and I saw this pink confetti in the sky and immediately knew what it was. I went, oh, Valerie, move.
What was it?
It was...
Oh, no!
And I'm like, get out of the way. And there was this one dude with the biggest mohawk you've ever seen in leather and chains. And he stood there as it came down and the pink confetti landed right all over him. He was the only one there.
No.
And everyone was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And he was like, he didn't know what to say, covered in this pink stuff. He just went like, yeah, raised his hands like he was a champion.
Yes,
loved
that's
it.
incredible.
So I mean, there are thrill rides
There
to the
are
extreme.
thrill rides. I
So
have
be
never
prepared.
seen that.
It was awesome. I mean, and the staff was right on top of it. They cleaned it right up and helped him out. So it was, you could tell they had protocols in place.
Yes,
But
there is something
there's so
for
many
everybody,
memories of just funny moments and great
yeah.
memories of just being there as a family. So I'm as a patron, just so
Yes.
thankful for this tradition that
thank you.
so many Utahns enjoy, and you've been obviously a part of it as the head of Frightmares, director of Frightmares, and experiences. Anything else to share with our audience about what Lagoon means to you? Because I know there's people get
so
on the mic and
much.
share their own stories all day long.
Yes. Well, my favorite part of Lagoon is the people that I work with. I just feel so lucky. I mean, Adam, Andre, there's so many people that are, I call them my brothers. When I introduce my friends to these people, I'm like, this is my brother, Adam, that I talk about all the time. You've met Adam,
Leishman.
Adam Leishman, that's right. This is my brother, Andre, my brother, Jimmy, whom he's known me since I was a baby. I mean, I feel so lucky. David and Terry, there are so many important people that we work with. And then, of course, I'm working with my actual family, my blood family too, right? But that's the best part about working at Lagoon. And I think a lot of people think of Lagoon as a summer job, but it really can be a career. Whether you're starting at 14 or 15 or even later, you can be at Lagoon forever. And I feel just so fortunate. We really are so fortunate to all be working together. And the other great thing about Lagoon being a family business instead of corporate is everyone really has total autonomy over their area. I mean, this is a place where you get to be creative.
Yeah,
and
contribute.
if you come to me like, Julie, I have an idea for Frightmares, my first answer is, let's try it. It's not, no, I need to figure it. It's, let's see how we can make this work. And I think that's the best part is everyone gets to be creative. And there's not just one department that you can work in. If you, like me, I did Frightmares, games. I was in games for a while, which was really fun.
The midway section there where you play all the...
Plop Plop was my game. Loved it. But, there's so many different things that you can do. I mean, the landscaping department, for example, just a few years ago, I realized I know nothing about taking care of plants. I had a couple house plants that I was like, I need to learn how to take care of these. So what do? I go to our greenhouse. And I said, Brent, who has been there since he was a child, who's the head of our landscaping department, he's brilliant. I don't know anything about plants. And he said, well, let me teach you. And so we started with the seed. And then, Lagoon plants, just so you're aware, over 100,000 flowers by hand every season. Every season. Everything is done by hand. So I learned all about...
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Our landscaping department. We actually have more species of trees in the park than any other place in the state of Utah. For example, Cannibal. The ride enclosure, Cannibal, has over 100 different kinds of trees in Cannibal alone. And it's because we wanted to theme it. I mean, there's so many cool things.
I'm blown away. That's awesome. I'm going to go back
Lagoon.
and going through the next time.
You'll have to go
totally
look
notice.
at it, right? But
it also adds to the experience, the end user. You have original music and you have all that environment and smells and sounds. Like it changes.
And then entertainment. I thought for a little while maybe I would be in entertainment at Lagoon. That didn't quite happen. I only sing in the shower. But there are so many different things that you could do at Lagoon too, which is why for me too, I know that my son, of course, where wouldn't he fit in? He could do anything there.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yes, it's a great place.
How about an idea of everybody gets a tarantula at the door and they just put on their shoulder?
Let's
not a good
not.
idea.
That one is rough. I mean, it's Frightmare season,
try
but that's a little much,
Just
David.
kidding.
Okay.
I'm not getting hired anytime soon. I can tell. Honestly, my last record, one of my last albums, The Engineer. who's one of the best, Blair Leishman. So he's sitting there, we're talking, and as we're doing the studio, we were talking about his origins of how he started. He started at Lagoon. That's how he cut his teeth, to learn music. So whether you have a lifelong career at Lagoon or it launches you into other paths, the butterfly effect of what Lagoon has been for so many people is really cool. So kudos to you and what your family has created. Honestly,
it's everybody. It's not just our family. I mean, truly, it's the Lagoon family, which is the larger community that's there. We're so lucky.
Awesome. Well, as are we. And we're lucky to have you here on the podcast. Thank you, Julie, for coming in.
This has been so much fun.
Give us a sneak peek behind the scenes of what you do every day. It's got to be fun just to get up and go to work.
Oh, it's so great. Right now, because it's Frightmares time, I'm on the park, which I love so much. It's making sure all the attractions are opening on time, checking out the characters, making sure Chelsea does an amazing job with our costumes and makeup department. I call her Mama Chelsea. She takes care of all of our Frightmares kids, making sure everybody's ready, making sure we've got all the candy stocked and everything going. The rides are going. And really, it's just quality control, making the rounds on the park, which I love. And talking to our guests. I love meeting new people that come to the park. I love watching when kids ride a new ride for the first time and they feel so accomplished and they come off like, yeah, I did it, or I'm finally tall enough to go on Puff, It's so fun to see that. So I just get to work with people all day and I love it.
My son did Cannibal for the first time this season. He calls it Cannonball.
Yep. Many do.
And he was so nervous to go off. But when he came off the first time around, he was so excited. We go again. Let's go again. Those experiences are awesome. Thanks for helping create that. And,
thank you.
And honestly, with all you, this is so exciting. And you have the best member of the cast in your own family. You're the mascot of
that's
Frightmares.
Right, my boy.
Your dog, Mossy.
Massimo, my firstborn child. That's right.
You cannot miss Mossy.
You cannot miss him. Full poodle, red mohawk.
Red mohawk.
Black and red. And he comes to work with me every day, which was not the plan. He was a COVID puppy.
Oh, okay.
So I got him, Madison and I got puppies from the same litter. So brother and sister, Massimo and Petrie, are at the park all the time because when we didn't open the park and there's no doggy daycare, we started bringing our dogs to work. And that's how Mossy he just never left. He goes with me everywhere. He's, here with me today. But you'll see every once in a while, you might see this black and red dog walking around Lagoon. That's Mossy.
You see a red mohawk dog.
And he
loves exactly who
kids.
He's hanging out
and,
with.
Usually you just see like this swarm of kids, like a big circle of kids.
Yeah.
It's like, what's over there? That's Mossy. He's right in the middle. He's the most popular.
Soaking
He's a celebrity. He's the most popular figure that I know.
Awesome. He gets all the funnel cakes he wants.
He does. Oh, he does.
Oh, really? He
does. Yes.
I was kidding.
He's walking around the park sniffing. He'll pick up any trash. He's a great vacuum.
Good for him. And great for you as well. Seriously, Julie, it's so great to chat with you. Thank you so much for coming in.
I love talking about Lagoon. Like I said, I'm just so lucky to be there. So thank you for having me.
Well, if you hear this, go check it out. They're going to go extra this season, of course, as the weather's been decent.
Yes.
They close up shop as they rearrange and clean up the park, open it. What time of the season does it open again? Is it April or May?
It's March. We can't wait to open.
We get as close to your birthday as possible.
Yeah, of course. It's end of March is what we're looking at. The last 2 years we had to postpone our opening, which was so sad because of the snow. So probably second to last weekend in March is what we're hoping for. Well,
we'll be there. We'll be there to celebrate for sure. And it'll be the 30th anniversary of Frightmares for 2025. Right. So good things on the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
Excited for you. Let us know however we can support. We'll keep cheering you on all the way.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.